Just be calm when things are going well. Be calm. Don't think you're on top of the world in the sense. You always got to be wary, because I've seen it. I've seen people come. I've seen people go. I've seen them come. I've seen them go. You got to be chill. You got to just take what's good in your life and move forward cautiously and carefully. And thank God that you have that. Just, it's very, very important not to overextend yourself when you think you've got it. There's no such thing. Everybody's dispensable.
Be calm. Just be calm. Sometimes we tend to overhype situations. Our imagination gets in our own way. And for me, I was able to detach myself from it, to allow the work that I've put in that practice to manifest itself during the game. So there's no need to panic. I've had games that I've won, games that I've lost at the buzzer. You show up the next morning and you get to practice again anyway.
Not calm. You're tied up in a knot. You solve nothing. Energy flows to and through us. When we're uptight, it's like putting a kink in a garden hose and wonder why the water doesn't flow freely. If you want the energy to flow freely through you and get good results, you've got to be calm. So the trick is, don't let anything outside really upset you. Now there's another side to this. If you let something outside get you excited, you're going to let something outside get you depressed, because you're reacting to what's going on outside. So something really good happens, you get excited. Something bad happens, you're going to get depressed. That's because you're letting the outside control you. I don't think you should get excited about anything. I think you should get enthused about it. Enthusiasm doesn't have a polar opposite.
There are very few situations that it's good to overreact. Most situations will be resolved if you can learn the skill, yes, the skill of calmness.
The law of relaxation that says the harder that you don't try, the better it works. In all mental working, effort defeats itself. Deep relaxation and meditation on a particular thought enables us to internalize the thought. Therefore, whenever you present new information to your mind in a state of deep relaxation, it is accepted far more rapidly. If you want to become a positive, outgoing, enthusiastic, wealthy, influential, successful human being, you must change your mental programming so that your internal programming, your beliefs, your self-concept, your essential fundamental convictions are consistent with what you wish to experience in the outside. And deep relaxation is the key. That relaxation is the key to the vault of riches. That relaxation is what unlocks your tapped potential.
Remember this: the calmer you are, the clearer you think. Practice calm.
Some of the most powerful people you'll ever meet are the quiet ones. They don't speak just to be heard. They observe. They feel. They build in silence while the world is too busy making noise. You won't find them chasing attention. They're too focused on building something real. These are the ones who sat with their pain, wrestled with their thoughts, and chosen growth when no one was watching. They're not loud, but their presence is undeniable. And when they arrive, it's not with a bang. It's with a calm that shakes the room. So if that's you, the quiet builder, the deep feeler, the one who's been growing in the dark, I see you. Keep going. One day, the world will ask you how you did it, and you'll smile, knowing you never had to explain a thing.
Calmness becomes a superpower when you learn to observe, not react. Your reactions are old defense mechanisms trying to reenact themselves in the present moment. Observing gives you time to choose between your impulse and the response. This is where your power lies.
Stress is where you lose or become a better person. The point in your life where you become the best, where you become the cream of the crop, is every moment everybody else reacts and you don't.
One of the things that I like to teach people when there's a problem, and we all have problems, not all of us can deal with the world and war, but we can deal with our own problems. When a problem comes up, one of the best things to say is, all is well, everything is working out for my highest good, and out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. And you know, this is something that's very powerful. All is well, everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this experience, only good will come, and I am safe. And what that does, it quiets your mind down, or my mind down, long enough for the universe to find a solution for the so-called problem.
Some people hustle to be seen, others hustle to disappear comfortably.
Yeah.
I always wanted to disappear comfortably. I'm not really out there trying to be in the camera, you know. Low profile's better than no profile. Slow motion's better than no motion.
Is that when your mind is calm, your entire cerebellum, the thinking and deciding brain, functions at its highest level, like turning up all the lights on a dimmer switch. It's functioning like a Christmas tree. But when you get upset and angry, what happens is your thinking reverts to your limbic or emotional system, and your ability to think clearly diminishes dramatically, and you make a lot of mistakes. That's why when you are facing a difficult situation, you have to use every skill, trick, game, whatever it is, stay calm. And that's why they teach you to meditate. And they find that meditators in business are far more successful because they can automatically trigger their mind into the calm of meditation when they're facing a crisis. It enables them to think with greater clarity.
Usually the most powerful person in the room is the person that says the least. Confidence is actually calm. It's not exuberant. It's not loud. The calmness, the relaxation allows you to be strong, confident, and agile. And the more confident you are, the easier it is to accomplish your goals. The looser you are, the more fluid you are, the more you're able to roll with the punches, quite literally.
Some of y'all need to learn how to shut your mouth. Some of y'all need to learn how to stop talking. Every time you got something planned, you go and share it with everybody. Every time you got a new idea, you go and tell your homeboys, you tell your friends, you tell your family. People can see you coming a mile away. 48 laws of power. Law 3, conceal your intentions. Or law 4, always say less than necessary. Law 17, cultivate an air of unpredictability. Why do you think all these laws kind of pertain to the same thing? Because there's power and respect in unpredictability. When people can't see what you're gonna do next, when people don't know what your next move is, when people can't find out how you're winning, people who get an idea and grind on it in silence are the most dangerous people on the planet. You can't see them coming, bro.
You have to be patient. You're not going to be exactly where you want to be in 2 weeks or 3 months or even a year. This is a lifelong journey. There's not going to be a point where you say, I'm here. I am the best version of myself. I am as good as I can possibly be. The goalpost continuously moves. Whatever you think the best version of yourself is right now may not be what you think it is in a year. So if you sit there and say, I'm going to be the best version of myself in 3 months, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. What you say instead is, one day I'm going to be the version of myself that I want to be. I don't know when that day is. I don't know how long it's going to take. But what I do know is I'm going to do whatever it takes for however long it takes. I'm going to do whatever I can day in and day out to move the needle forward so that one day I can arrive at that goal.
You just have to try different things, and even if 99% of them fail, you only have to be right one time. You don't have to figure it all out in advance. You can be wrong. You can pick the wrong career. You can pick the wrong job. You can pick the wrong spouse. You can pick the wrong whatever. But you get it right one time, you're set.
Most people, when you're unhappy, like a depressed person, it's not that they have a very clear, calm mind. They're too busy in their mind. Their sense of self is too strong. They're sitting indoors all the time. Their mind's working. They're thinking too much. If you want to be effective in business, you need a clear, calm, cool, collected mind. Warren Buffett plays bridge all day long and goes for walks in the sun. He doesn't sit around like constantly loading his brain with nonstop information, getting worked up about every little thing.
It may not work today, it may not work tomorrow, but this is the right thing and this is what I'm doing. And this is what's feeding me. So that would be the best advice that I can give you, that knowing, just believe in what you're doing. And if you don't believe in it, then you're not doing it. You haven't figured out the thing that you do best yet. When you feel it and when you know, no one can tell you. You only have to be right once.
You have to disappear. Disappearing means doing the work. It means doing the work in the dark. It means building in private what you don't need to prove in public. It means doing the work when no one's watching. You stop worrying about what people think and start valuing what you believe. Because a life that looks good or sounds good is nothing compared to a life that feels good.
Move in silence. Not everyone needs to know your work is increasing. I'm usually the guy that opens up to most and regrets it later. Remember, silence is power and action is strength. And when you start to truly talk through your results, that's when people will start to truly listen. Move in silence, my friends, and let your results speak for themselves.
If you're able to stay calm and collected in situations that other people would lose their mind in, you really are in a powerful position. Now, it doesn't mean that you sit around and you just take bullshit from people. No, it means you're able to discipline your emotions and not let your emotions have the better of you. Because that's the thing, when we're angry, when we're riled up, when we're upset, we often act out of character, and we may end up making a decision which will end up hurting us in the long run. Maybe you say something really mean to a partner of yours in the heat of the moment, but you can't take that back after you've said it. If you're able to stay calm and collected and communicate in a manner which is organized, then you will ensure that you will not put yourself in bad predicaments.
When you start winning, you get euphoric because you start thinking, I got it, I finally have it. You never have it. What you have is you learn a system that is able to hack the ancient brain that we have from our caveman times and soothe it for periods of an hour. And then you need to take care again, because if you've taken losses, you've triggered your emotional brain to either fear getting in or want to get that money back. And you have a lot of observation you have to do. You have a lot of discipline that has to be managed. And you have a lot of soothing that you have to do to be able to keep good thinking. And you have to always be in a position where you're courageous to face your fears.
Yeah.
The constant grind and the feeling of never being good enough kept us working. I really learned on the days, the nights that we won championships, you think you want to go out and celebrate, you think you want to go out and party. But those days, you realize that you didn't win the championship on that day, on that night. You won a championship that day when you got up, when you had 2 games or 4 games in 5 nights. You went up and you went to practice every single day. That's when you became a champion.
We psych ourselves up too much. Like if you try to talk yourself into, oh, this is a big moment, this is a big shot, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You shot that shot hundreds and thousands of times, just shoot another one.
I'd like to use this opportunity to say that nothing bad has ever come from not telling people your business. Resist the urge to stop telling people everything that's going on in your life. Learn to be a private person and take people by surprise. Look, these days you'll find that a lot of people struggle. They find it difficult to resist the urge to not tell people every single thing that's going on in their life.
You only have to be right one time. And in that process of finding that right fit, right person, right career, right hobby, right passion, right you, it's going to take and require a lot of things that probably don't feel right. And that's okay. But in those moments, instead of deeming those experiences as failure, maybe reframing it as, that just wasn't right for me, is a helpful way to value those experiences and allow them to transform you mind, body, and soul, so that in the right time, you can show up for the right things, the right people, the right opportunities, and the right doors that open for you in a way that truly is just right.
You guys, you talk a lot about what you're about to do or what you're gonna do. Stop telling people. Some of them are just not happy for you. Some of them are just jealous of you. You're just in a hurry to post about things you're up to. Sometimes just don't post. Sometimes just disappear and go work on yourself. Go work on your projects. Go work on your things. And reappear a year or 2 years later as a different person. Show them the results as opposed to communicating the actual work that you're doing, what you're up to, the goals. Some people can be jealous and some people can jinx your ideas. They can jinx your hustle.
Strength is built in the moments no one sees, in the struggles, in the failures, and in the silent battles you fight alone. It's not the easy days that shape you, it's the hard ones. Every time you choose to keep going, you prove to yourself that nothing can break you. That's real power, not in words, but in resilience.
Stop telling people what you're doing. They don't need to know. Just go and do it and let them wonder. But see, the reality is that most people don't want to stop telling others what they're doing and what they want to do and what they plan on doing. You know why? Because it gives them a false sense of accomplishment. People who don't truly believe inside themselves that they can go and achieve something just go around and talk about it, because the extent of potential achievement in that thing in their mind is limited in that and that only. Words. Action doesn't follow. It comes from an underlying fear that they won't actually be able to accomplish it and will never be able to genuinely show or tell people when it comes to fruition. So they sort of fast track the reaction and validation that they're seeking by talking about it before it ever gets done. If you're guilty of this, try and force yourself just to talk less, and then you might feel an inclination to do more, which will with time compound and remove that underlying fear.
Disappear for 6 months. Work on yourself every day. Your psychology, your trading, your business, your health. A lot of people have so many excuses why they can't do something, but realistically, all it takes is 6 months of deep work to put together a plan for your future success. After that, when you come back, all you need is enough discipline to consistently execute every single day. I can guarantee if you work on yourself every single day with no distractions for 6 months, you will see more success.
If thinking is the most important thing you do, because of the consequences of thinking determine the entire quality of your life, then the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. And so the more time that you spend thinking and thinking well and thinking clearly, the more successful you are. Over the years, I've worked with some very powerful people, billionaires and multi-billionaires, people who are on the Forbes 400 list. And I've had a chance to be with them during crises. And I noticed that they all had one quality in common. They all went calm. It's just, they went calm. People around them were angry and upset and worried about what happened and who did it and so on. And they would just go calm. When your mind is calm, your entire cerebellum, the thinking and deciding brain, functions at its highest level. That's why when you are facing a difficult situation, you have to use every skill, trick, game, whatever it is, stay calm. And that's why they teach you to meditate.
The man who reacts is led by the world. The man who remains unmoved leads the world. That is the secret. That is the path. You must become the one who sees the attack, but does not let it shape his self-image. You must become the one who witnesses loss, yet does not internalize defeat. You must become the one who hears the noise, but remains tuned only to the frequency of truth. Others may call this weakness, because they do not understand it. They believe strength is in the fist, in the raised voice, in the pointed finger. But true strength is in restraint. True power is quiet. It does not beg to be seen, it does not need to defend itself. It knows what it is, and what it is, what you are, is far greater than any circumstance that confronts you.
Why does discipline equal freedom? Because the more discipline you have in your life, the more freedom you will end up with. So if you lack the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up being a slave to disease. If you lack the discipline to work hard, save your money, you will end up a slave to finances. If you lack the discipline to manage your time correctly, you will end up with no free time. If you have self-discipline, if you have the discipline to save your money and work hard and invest your money properly, if you have the discipline to manage your time correctly and not waste a bunch of time, if you have the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up with freedom. I know it's counterintuitive, it's contrarian, but I've seen this over and over and over again. If you want freedom in your life, you have to have discipline.
Freedom is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to walk through conflict without being dragged into its story. Peace is not the absence of noise. It is the refusal to let noise dictate your direction. You must live from the inside out, not the outside in. The moment you let the outer world decide who you are no longer living. You are reacting. You are no longer choosing, you are chasing. But you were not born to chase. You were born to create. And creation does not emerge from panic. It flows from presence, from poise, from the unbothered awareness that knows all things are unfolding for your good, whether the world sees it yet or not.
Not you. You're too cold.
Yeah, because I think that emotions most of the time doesn't help us to deal with something. Of course, emotions is like spices for your life, but when you have some hard situation, you shouldn't use your emotions.
You are not here to control others. You are here to command your own mind. And once you do that, everything else aligns. The world is not resisting you, it is reflecting you. If you meet fire with fire, you get more fire. If you meet it with stillness, the flame cannot spread. When you remain calm, the world becomes calm around you, not because the world changes, but because your inner state does. Imagine a situation that once triggered you. Someone lied to you, someone betrayed you, someone doubted you. In the past, you might have burned in response. Words thrown like daggers, silence used like punishment, retaliation disguised as righteousness. But now you see through it. You see it as an opportunity to return to yourself, not to lose yourself. You say nothing, you breathe, you affirm inwardly, I am untouched by this. I am not this reaction. I am the stillness behind it. And what happens? The power of the moment shifts. The energy loses its grip. You no longer feed the illusion. You no longer lend it your belief. You are free, not because the world became easier, but because you became unshakable.
Stay low key. Stay low key about the work you're putting in. Stay low key about the grinding you've been doing, the leveling up you've been doing.
I used to tell people my dreams and my passions and what I want to do in life and the things that I want to accomplish. But they always find a reason to put me down and tell me that I can't do something because they can't do it themselves. So I learned to let the results do the talking.
Don't tell me your plans. Show me the results.
You never hear a tree grow. You feel me? As big as a tree is, you never hear it grow. You just see it blossom.
Focus on you until the focus is on you, bro.
The people who talk the most about what they're gonna do produce the least.
People can say anything. They can say they want to do this, they want to do that. But actions speak louder than words.
10 minutes a day of meditation. Mandatory. Look, you will not feel the effects on day 1. You likely won't even feel the effects on day 5 or 10. But once you get into 2 weeks in, once you get into 3 weeks in, you'll notice, why am I so calm all of a sudden? Even with just 10 minutes a day. You ask yourself, why am I so calm? Why do I feel so calm? Why do I feel kind of at ease? Why does my mind feel quiet? Why do things that I used to get distracted by not really pull me in anymore?
Number 1, absolutely most important rule I can share with you when things get crazy is stay calm. Think. Just like when you're in a fight, it's the calmest fighter that usually wins. Whenever it gets crazy and chaotic in your life, my number 1 rule is to stay calm.
This is the key. Be clear about the results that you're trying to accomplish. This is one of the keys of peak performance, by the way. All peak performers are result-oriented. All losers or underachievers tend to be activity-oriented. And in activity orientation, what they do is they work very, very hard. Sometimes they work frantically. Sometimes they work longer hours than you do, but they lose sight of the results. So focus on results. Here's a key question to ask yourself when in your working life. I think it's one of the most important key questions. I'll give you 2. Number 1 is, what results are expected of me? What results are expected of me? Not what activities, but what results or what outputs. A second question you can ask yourself is, why am I on the payroll? It's short-term gain for long-term pain. We do what is fun and easy today instead of what is hard and necessary, and then we have to do what is hard and necessary at the end of our life when it's too late.
The mentality of greatness. There are no breaks. I hate to tell people that, right? Because today's time, everybody wants it fast. You can be popular, but to be great, Monday on top of Tuesday, Tuesday on top of Wednesday, Wednesday on top of Thursday, Thursday on top of Friday, Friday on top of Saturday, Saturday, Sunday. And start over, and start over, and start over, and start over. And true greatness is always evolving. True greatness is always evolving. It never stays the same. Your comfort zone will stay the same, unless sometimes you're forced to come out of it. You will never touch a level of greatness until your comfort zone is disturbed.
And here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. As you hold on to that dream, there are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to know that. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day.
If life was nothing but green lights and we didn't have yellows and reds, things that make us pause, hardships, crises, times for introspection, then what the hell would it all be for? We need the yellows and the reds.
The bad days,
create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through.
And if you don't have highs, you don't have lows, it doesn't come. If you numb the bad, you numb the good.
Part of life is about getting hurt, about failing and getting back up and dealing with adversity and setbacks and realizing that what you thought was a short path is actually going to be the long path to success, and you're going to have to take that journey if you really want it.
Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs. The worse the down, the more room for an incredible rise.
This world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor.
When you're feeling the most trapped and down and nothing can go right, I feel like those are the moments that define you.
The world belongs to optimists. Because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen. Otherwise, it never will.
The cynics get to be right and the optimists get to be rich.
Yeah.
I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired as hell, but I'm not going to complain because this is what I signed up for. So I'm going to smile with goddamn tired eyes and realize everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason.
Hey man, look, this is what you got to do, bro. Wake up and grind. Wake up and grind. Wake up and grind. Every day. That's the method.
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. My coach used to always say, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
You got to just put your mind to it, man. And when you are in that mode where you're grinding and coming up, you got to just be like straight on that. Like no partying, no going out, no distractions, lock in.
If you get up every single day and put your mind to something, how could you really believe that you won't win? It's not possible. I mean, 99% of people already don't want to grind. So you just start and you becoming the 1%.
You think when you're young that you have all this time. You have no time. Like I'm 54 years old right now. Like that. I mean, it just fucking flew by. There's no time. I mean, one of the quotes on the wall in the gym in there is, you know, there is no tomorrow. From Rocky 3, you know, there is no tomorrow. Fuck that shit. Let's get all this shit done today.
Life is shorter than you think. Okay, you're 25 and you're thinking, wow, I've got 10 years to figure it all out. I've got all these vistas of time. I'm young, I'm healthy, etc. You don't have nearly as much time as you think you do. It goes very fast.
Really?
So you need a sense of urgency and energy. And you have to develop some fire inside of you.
Life is too short.
Yeah.
Life is too short. We got too much to do in this world to be worried about the dumb shit.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. Be the now of what you want to be later. It starts right now.
The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't.
Master the 3 W's. You gotta want it, you gotta work it, then you gotta win it. Now how bad do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you gonna work it. Then if you do those two, you're gonna win.
Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
You gotta wake up every day and put 110% to your craft because there's someone out there that's getting it more than you. So don't be acting shocked when they up and you down. The person who grinds the hardest always gets it.
If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. We are all being tested in life. While my test is different than yours, you will be tested. And how you face that test and how you overcome that test determines the rest of your life.
I think the best asset I have is I'm a grinder. You know what I mean? I'm dedicated to the lifestyle of going hard every day. And I've been since I was a teenager. So that's in me. We was raised to be grinders. That's what we identify with.